Oh man, I am so tired. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Speaking of tired, I gotta talk to you about a few things that I'm tired of. Is that okay with you?
Trying to go ahead and say what you got to say.
So, I'm tired of you leaving the light on in the room, in the closet, in the kitchen.
I don't leave the light on in the room.
Ronald, when you leave out of a room, you leave the light on.
All right, go ahead. What else you got?
Your shoes. Why can't you put your shoes up? You standing near the cubby when you come in the door, and you just leave your shoes right there so I can trip over them. Cubby's right there. Shoes off, put in the cubby. Shoes off, put in the cubby. Can you do that?
Yes, I can do that, Charlie.
And another thing, the one that irks me the most. Why can't you put the toilet seat down? Up, down, up, down. How hard is that? You raised it to use it. Now put it down when you're done. Hello?
All right, Charlie. I will turn the lights off. Put the toilet seat down.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the other one?
Your shoes. Your shoes.
I put the shoes in the cupboard.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
No problem.
Ronald! Ronald! I thought I told you to turn this light off. Ronald! Ronald! Thought I told you to put the toilet seat down. And you left the light on.
Oh, shoot.
Ronald! 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 Shoes. Cubby. Shoes. Cubby. I thought I told you to put them in the cubby, Ronald. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to RCRC. That is the Relationship Connection with Ronald and Charlie. I am Charlie Willis, a mental health therapist.
I'm Ronald Willis, a marriage and family therapist. And today we're talking about these nagging wives. Can the other husband and guys relate?
Anyway, so nagging, let's get something out in the open before we get into too much of this video or this discussion. Nagging can be perceived, will come from both parties. Okay, it's just so happened in the skits that
Both parties, okay,
are being portrayed here or displayed to you guys. I'm in the position of the nagger.
I'm trying to figure out why the women nag.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to talk about it, but before we do, I want you to know that we are here to equip, empower, and educate couples on how to thrive in their relationships. How? Through candid conversations right here on this platform.
And that's right. Don't forget to help support this ministry by making a contribution to our Cash App at First Focus Faith. And if you're watching by YouTube, like, comment, share, subscribe.
Do it all?
Because we need it all.
Because we need it all. Outstanding. So let's start with this skit here. There were a few things that I wanted to remind Ronald about.
Yeah, but it was nagging for me, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming home, I'm tired, right? And then you're gonna hit me with things I didn't do.
Okay, I hit you with those things you didn't do before you were tired as well.
Right, but at this particular time, I don't want to hear that. I want to rest, okay? And so when you come out like that, that's nagging for me. What is it for you?
Simple reminders.
Simple remind. That is not simple.
If we look
That's
at
aggravating,
nagging,
frustrating.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. So when someone nags you, they're harassing you, point blank. So was I harassing you? Yeah.
I don't necessarily say you was harassing me, but you was bothering me at a time when I did not want to be bothered. I wanted to rest. Mm-hmm. Okay, you could tell me at another time. Mm-hmm. So for me, that's nagging. Okay. Maybe it's not your definition of nagging. Okay. But what I received at that particular time was nagging.
Okay, so let me ask this. Uh-huh. Yeah. So why I believe in the clip, I stated how I felt, okay? But as we proceeded throughout the day, you did those very things. You did not do those very things that I reminded you to do.
Yeah, you was hiding in the closet, hiding in the bathroom. Come on, man. Can a brother get a break? Oh, man. But what I'm trying to understand, for me, it's nagging. What is it for you?
Again, simple reminders.
Is reminding me in that way is going to get what you want.
Obviously, it did not.
It does not. I'm really not even trying to listen to you. What I'm trying to do?
Well, now
I'm trying to rest. I'm not trying to listen to you.
Okay, you're trying to rest.
Right. So then when I'm trying to rest and you're not respecting me trying to rest and then start trying to tell me about things I didn't do earlier, things I do not do, I don't want to hear that.
Mm-hmm. So when does it come to a point, women, when we remind our spouses of things that need to be done, it gets put on the to-do list?
Well, this is not a to-do list. It's just me failing to do a little small thing.
Obviously, it's going to have to be a to-do for you to remember to do.
All right.
Yeah. But, just reminders that things we would like our spouses to remember to do. That's important to us.
It's okay to remind the things that I'm not doing. Mm-hmm. It's not okay to nag me about those things that I'm not doing. That's the difference.
Okay.
If you want me to do it, definitely can't come to me at this particular time when I feel like you're nagging me about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so again, before we go any further, just a reminder that roles can be reversed, and they are so often that they are.
Okay, so, kind of allude to men nag also. Okay, yeah, we got it.
Yes,
we got it, y'all.
Yes, and yes. Okay. But so let's move forward.
Let's help our couples out there, man, because I don't want anyone to be nagging at me. I don't want that, and of course, you don't want it either.
Okay, so let's move forward.
All right, let's move forward. What's our first point to help these couples out so that perhaps we can minimize or eliminate what the thought process of someone nagging?
All right. So point 1, we want to listen to understand.
That's right. So you got to set the foundation for communication. So you can't come in and have a conversation when I'm not ready to have the conversation. Because when you talk, you want to be heard. But if you coming at me like that, you're not gonna get what you want. Mm-hmm. I'm tired. I'm trying to rest right now. I'm not trying to listen to you right now. And if I'm not trying to listen to you, then you're not gonna get what you want, and that is to be heard. Okay, there is no listen to understand it. Those two platforms are not executed. In other words, you set the foundation so you can get what you want. That is to be heard, and then when that foundation is set, then I will listen because I understand you want to be heard. I'm not understanding you want to be heard in this particular time. I'm not.
Okay, so help the couples out even further. If I'm setting the foundation, what does that even look like?
Well, you come in and say, "Hey, do you have time to talk?"
Okay.
And I'm out. At this particular time, I say, hey, can I get some rest before we talk? So can we talk at another time or whatever case may be and stuff, so that you can get what you want. But if you're just coming at me and stuff and start talking about
I
stuff,
asked you that.
I told you I was tired.
Rewind.
Rewind it. I told you I was tired.
I got something to talk to you about. Okay.
And I was like, whatever. Okay. You know.
All right. So be truthful. If you know. And I think also that
I lied.
For my stance, I could have said that, I got something really important.
Right.
I need to talk to you about. You have an opportunity to listen, because me there letting you know it's important to me. That makes a difference also.
Yeah, because you did mention something that's very important, right? If you don't have time to listen, don't open that door. Don't say, go ahead, I'm hearing what you got to say, but I really don't want to hear what you got to say. Don't open that door, because it's going to mess things up.
Okay. So in scripture form for us, James 1:19 is what we're looking at. When it says, my dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Okay. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, Ronald. It actually said Ronald at the end of the scripture.
That's a typo, y'all. But this is a familiar scripture we have often used on this show. But it's important to put this in your back pocket, put this in your pocketbook, put this in your tool bag to ensure that you are setting an environment where you're being quick to listen. So you can't open that door and say, hey, I'm going to listen to you. But you're really not. You don't feel like it. You're tired, whatever the case may be and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And then on the other side, you don't just start having a conversation and stuff, right? You want to make sure that the foundation is set so that you get what you want, and that is to be heard, and then I'll be quick to listen to you.
You will.
That's right. Mm-hmm. If the foundation is set, if the foundation is not set, who knows what you're going to get?
I already know what I'm going to get, because I got it, not what I wanted to get.
That's right. It's going in one ear, going out the other one. And then, of course, you're going to be in these areas looking for me to do what you asked me to do, and I'm not going to do it because I didn't really listen to you. I did not. No one wants to listen to someone that is nagging. Mm-hmm. And if I feel like you're nagging, whether you're nagging or not, I'm not going to listen to that. I'm just not. Okay, ready for this conversation to be over with, so I can go back and do what I was doing, and that is resting. Move on. Okay. So definitely set this foundation so that listen to understand can be executed. Okay?
All right. Okay.
What's the next one?
All right. So point 2, we want to define roles and do your best at accomplishing your role while showing encouragement. So exactly, what do you mean? Find my roles and do my best.
Right. So naturally, the communication has to be established. Well, we are listening and being heard to go to defining roles, because if you try to define roles and I'm not hearing what you got to say, then the roles are not going to be defined. So there's an understanding of what I'm going to do in the home, what you're going to do in the home and stuff, right? Okay. And the expectation that we set in the home, right? Like for an example, you want the lights off and stuff, right? So one of my roles in the home is when I leave that room, I cut the lights off. Okay.
Yeah. If I may interject.
Go ahead.
And we must understand that some things to us that may seem minimal, we can't look at it that way to our partner. So you understand what I'm saying? Like one thing I did not say in the clip was you leave the cabinet doors open, and that just...
Oh, you gonna bring something else in, huh?
I just for an example here. But it may be minimal to him. I just close the cabinet door and we walk by.
Well, it's really not. Be honest with you, it's important to me because it's important to you.
Oh, I like that.
Right. So, I want to make it important for me. So I'm gonna try to get these things accomplished. However, and stuff, right? Let's look at use the light as an example, right?
Okay.
So let's say you go to the bathroom and the light is off.
All right.
You're not gonna say anything.
I won't.
Right. You only gonna say something when the light is on. So you're not gonna give me any accolades for when I turn the light off.
How did I know you were in there?
That's right.
The light was off, but right. I know you were in there. The light is on.
That's right. So that has to be a two-way street of encouraging the person when they're doing what you asked them to do. And for example, I could tell you, hey, Charlie, I just turned the light off. Okay, good job. I'm glad you turned the light off. We got to help each other out, encourage each other to get what we want. But if we only emphasize it on when I don't do something, then that's not an encouragement for me. Right.
All right.
So you want you.
Let's go. I want to go ahead and put the scripture out there so we understand here as well. 1 Thessalonians 5:11 state, therefore, encourage one another and build one another up, just as you are doing.
That's right. You want to have encouragement going in a relationship, and there has to be some knowledge of what is being done. And sometimes we can often overlook it, and we only emphasize on what is not being done. Okay, and we got to look at it from a holistic viewpoint. We got to look at everything and not just look at my partner for what they're not doing, but look at my partner for what they're doing also in the efforts they're trying to make. I mean, honestly, trying to turn the lights off, and then I'm forgetting sometimes. Then the only time you talk about it when the light is on. Well, there are times when I have turned the light off. You're not saying anything. You're not recognizing anything. You're not encouraging me, and that helps build me up to get me to a place where I'm doing it more often. And all of a sudden, it may not be a problem anymore.
So basically, I want to appreciate you for what you have done, for what you have shown.
Versus
reminding you.
Versus nagging me for what I'm not doing. Because that's not going to come. I'm not going to receive that in a good way, especially when you're doing it at a time when I really don't want to listen.
Okay.
You know, like in the skit, I was tired. Maybe another time when I'm sleepy or something, you're trying to talk with me. And I hear what you got to say, but I'm not really listening. I'm not. Okay? So have conversation that encourage your partner when they do what you're asking them to do. Okay. It just can't be on a negative platform.
Right. Definitely understand that. Okay.
All right. So Charlie, make sure when I close the cabinet doors, I'm gonna say, "Hey, Charlie, I closed the cabinet doors." And you're gonna say what?
Oh, great job!
Man,
great job!
Here we go. No, I'm playing.
All right. Okay. Before we get to the next point,
commercial break.
We need to stop and take a commercial break. So we'll be right back. Thanks.
So we're back from the commercial break, and we're talking about things you can do to minimize a perspective or environment that you feel like is nagging. Notice I didn't say nagging wife this time, Charlie.
Oh, I'm glad.
That nagging wife.
Come on, ladies, rise up in the comments.
There's no such thing as a nagging man.
What? Ladies, sound off.
Sound off.
All right. Okay, so we made some points listed. Let's move on to the next point, which is number 3. And these are points to help us all in this perspective of how to get our point across, so we won't come off as these heavy reminders.
Nagging.
Or the nagging concept. All right. So point number 3, you want to see things from both people perspective, from your spouse perspective and vice versa. Okay.
Yeah, because like we was talking about earlier, right? What is your perspective, right? Mm-hmm. And it just seems like your perspective is you're just trying to get some things done in the home that's not being done. I'm failing to turn off the lights. I'm leaving my shoes laying around and stuff, right? And you like for the toilet seat to be down, I'm leaving it up. You're just trying to get some things done. Okay? That's your perspective.
Especially if the cleaning is heavily weighs on one person or the other in that concept. It's like if I'm not the one cleaning the bathroom, but I'm the one messing it up most of the time, that kind of thing. You want to be mindful about that. But also the perspective thing also goes back to what we were saying earlier. While you wanted to please me, you want to make sure you do the
I
thing.
said that earlier?
You did say that.
Okay.
Rewind. You wanted to please me. You want to make sure that you're doing some things that that are important to me. You know,
if it's important to you, then they become important to me also.
There you go. There you go. So me stepping into thinking about how you feel about it, you know, like me, the part about when I started talking to you when you were tired, you know,
in a bad way.
You know, can I? Yeah, I was kind of
rough.
Nice.
You was nice. You was rough. Okay. You was dissatisfied with some of the stuff I was not doing. And you conveyed that message to me, but I didn't receive that message. I did not.
All right.
Yeah. So, you know, from your perspective, you try to get things done. From my perspective, right? Part of my perspective is when you tell me these things, right? Mm-hmm. You got to make sure you telling me, and I don't perceive it as nagging, because if I perceive it as nagging, I'm not listening to you. I'm just not.
No, you will not, and vice versa.
So you want to be able to convey this message in such a way that I receive the message.
That's right.
And then we help each other accomplish what is not being done, regardless of who is at fault.
Help each other. That is very important. That's right.
You help each other regardless of who is at fault. Yeah, I'm at fault for leaving the lights on, but that doesn't mean you sit on the passive sideline and then being
waiting for it to get piled up
behind the shower curtain, waiting for me not to do it. And
I knew it. I knew it.
I knew it. The toilet seat is up.
I knew he was going to leave it up.
Right. Where's the help at? Where's the reminder? Maybe you could put a reminder. Hey, don't forget to let the toilet seat down or something like that.
A note on the toilet.
A note on the toilet. Something, to help get this accomplished.
That is kind of drastic. Hopefully, you'll start remembering.
Because
before I have
a lot of men have this problem. Mm-hmm. We're not. I'm thinking about taking care of my business. I'm not thinking about the toilet seat position. I'm not. Right. Okay. The only thing that makes me think about that toilet seat is now that you have told me in a nice way, right? And then I'm gonna think about, okay, my partner wants the toilet seat down, so I'll make sure I put it down.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate
that. And then when I put it down, make sure you encourage me. Hey, I appreciate, Ron, you did put the toilet seat down. Okay. All right. Don't only have a conversation with me. Toilet seat is up.
All right.
So I'm behind the shower.
Let's keep it moving. So for the fourth point here, accepting each other. 1 Peter 4:8 tells us, above all, keep loving one another earnestly. Since love covers a multitude of sins. My tongue got stuck.
Is it unstuck now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, appreciate it.
All right.
All right, so, at the end of the day, right, everybody is different.
Yeah, this is true.
That's right. We want to accept each other for who we are, who they are.
Yeah.
So your partner may not be good at letting the toilet seat down. This is not an opportunity to get upset. This is not an opportunity to nag. When these situations occurs, you do your best you can to facilitate a conversation that help make that changes some things, but also you want to cope with some things also. Mm-hmm. I may not 100% ever let the toilet seat down. Mm. And then each time I don't do it, you get upset. Mm. Well, you're not accepting me for who I am. Why you expect for a man to be 100% in this area?
Why? I don't expect a man. I expect you to be who you are.
Right.
With a little bit of help, and influence and encouragement, some of these things can change, and some may not.
That's right. It may not change. Is that enough to get upset about? Is that enough to get upset about in your relationship?
No, I'm not drawing up any paperwork because of
it. Is that enough to have an argument about? It's not. It's just not. It may be something you don't like, but you're not gonna like everything about your partner regardless. Mm-mm. So that things you have to cope with the other person with versus trying to lay the hammer down and be nagging. You got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you got to make sure you're perfect, you got to do all these things. Well, no one is perfect.
Right. No one is perfect.
Right.
All right. So our last point, which brings us to point number 5, you may need to seek counsel.
Yes. If you can't navigate in the conversation and try to, minimize the things and stuff, seek outside help.
Yeah, and I remember that I'm not saying that go find a counselor because your spouse won't put the toilet seat down. It obviously it's more than that. It's a deep rooted thing where you're having difficulty where communication and trained counselors know that you're not here just because of the toilet seat.
Right.
We know it lies deeper than that.
Right, because sometimes we come from a past where these little small things, really upset us and irk us in such a way and stuff, right? And it causes us to attack our partner because they're different from us. And that's not the right platform to be on. It's just not. We come from these sometimes a rigid way of thinking, a rigid way of doing things, and we expect for the other person to be the same, and that's just not realistic. It's just not.
Right.
Okay, I mean, you living with another person who is different from you.
Definitely. Want to leave you with Proverbs 18:22, which states, "He who finds a wife finds what is good and receives favor from the Lord." So we do want to remember that. He who finds a wife finds a good thing.
Just be mindful that every conversation your wife have about something that she wants you to do, don't go to the place of nagging all the time. You may feel like it's nagging sometimes, but like we said earlier, put things in the perspective place it should be. They're just trying to get some things done.
Yeah, just trying to give you some heavy reminders, so to speak. Right. All right, so guys, we are out of time, but thank you for joining us, and join us next week. And we will have another exciting episode. And please comment on the video, like, share it, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. We will see you again next week. Bye-bye. We are here to equip,